Hi everyone, and welcome to today's webinar titled Navigating the 2025 Skills Economy. I'm Mark Seaman, CEO and founder of Staff Circle. In the next 25 minutes, we're going to explore the evolving landscape of skills in the workplace, discuss why systemising skills is now a business imperative, and also share strategies for future-proofing your workforce. Now, this isn't a pitch fest. We have some fantastic 2025 ebooks for you to download and to help you in your ongoing skills journey. So please do stay with us into the last slide where I'll be giving you the access codes for these. There's also a Q&A section, but due to time, we may need to limit this. However, if you do have a question during the session, then I'm going to be sharing my email address with you at the very end so you can send any questions through to me and I will endeavour to answer them as soon as possible. Okay, let's dive in. The evolving skills landscape. So let's start by examining the current skills landscape and confirming why implementing a skills architecture is so crucial. We know that 85% of employees are prioritising upskilling in their workforce to address skills gaps. We know that 63% of employees identify skills gaps as significant barriers to business transformation. And we also know that we live in a hugely fast-changing world. I don't need to tell you this, it's a hugely unpredictable world. And maybe like some of you over the last 40 years, lived through and worked through the IT explosion, then the internet explosion, then the cloud explosion. But I can say for certainty that I have never experienced a time when the tectonic plates of technology have shifted so quickly and so profoundly. So it's no exaggeration to say that in the next 2 to 3 years, AI will cause profound impact on work and society. And the current estimates are that AI will displace approximately 85 million jobs by 2025. One thing's for sure, the winners in all of this will be the ones who can effectively reskill and upskill themselves and their organisations. Because AI is also projected to create 97 million new jobs. But organisations can't transition effectively without a skills framework in place. So this really underscores the urgency for businesses to adapt and equip their teams with the necessary skills and systems in place to thrive in this dynamic environment. Okay, next slide. So part of the prep work for your skills or your competency framework is identifying core competencies or strategic pillars, which is a critical step in aligning your workforce skills with your own business objectives. We also need to ensure that organisations' values and behaviours are identified and sufficiently developed, because when building a fully integrated competency framework, your role-based skills come from what is required from the role, but your behavioural skills are derived from the organisational values. Maybe you already have a partial or full framework in place, which maybe needs updating. It could be not complete or doesn't cover the entire workforce. Maybe your framework is in a spreadsheet and not integrated into your business processes. Or you could simply be starting from scratch. And that's fine, because either way, as crazy as it seems, it is possible to go from where you are now to having a fully integrated skills and competency framework for your entire organisation, regardless of the size, all within a few months. So how do we achieve this? Well, there's a structured approach. Firstly, we define the goals and strategies for your organisation. Clarify what these are and your mission for your long-term objectives or your strategic pillars. Then identify roles and required skills and their competencies. Determine the skills required for each role to achieve these goals, factoring in behavioural skills which obviously derive from your values. And then thirdly, set competency levels, establish proficiency levels for each of those skills required by that particular role. And this is crucial because we need to establish competency statements which will clearly identify what level of skill is required and what level of capability that is. That stage is going to, of course, generate huge amounts of skills and data. When you combine these into the related capabilities, this is going to make reporting and management far easier. And finally, you need to then integrate this framework into your HR and L&D processes. Embed these competencies into your TA, HR, and learning and development initiatives. One unified framework for your entire organisation. And utilising resources like Skills England can provide valuable data to ensure that your workforce skills align with the industry needs. Okay, so if this all sounds really theoretical, let me bring this to life a little bit. I'm going to quickly switch modes so I can show you how this looks in both paper and then systemised format. Okay, please bear with me for a second while I switch modes. Okay, so here we have a role description, which is obviously required, and then obviously all of the skills that are required for that particular role. You can have obviously many skills required by each role. And then off each skill is a competency level and a statement. And these statements describe exactly what the person should be able to do at that level of skill. By having all of this working together and then integrated into your pathways and your processes, you're going to be able to be systematic about skills acquisition and the requirements for each role in your organisation, whether you're looking at hiring, learning, or succession planning. Okay, so let's switch modes again and show you how this could look in software. Okay, so on this demo account, it's a Staff Circle demo account. I'm going to enrich a role using the system. So let's just think of a quick role. Maybe account exec, sales account manager. So basically what's happening while the system is enriching this role, it's going to factor in all the information it already knows about the organisation to be able to create this hyper-personalised role description with the skills. It already knows what the organisation does, what the product service does, and it knows about the values of the organisation. So you can actually see here that it's actually creating the role based on the software industry because it knows this organisation's software industry. It's created all of the skills and the competency levels and the statements for each of those. And it's even suggested a follow-up role, which is, in this example, sales director. Now, obviously that's one role, but what the framework looks like for an entire organisation when it's built that automatically is here, which is essentially every role, every skill, every piece of information you could possibly want for each of those roles is automatically defined. And that's created in about an hour. And if you were to manually do this, it would literally take 7 to 8 months. And that gives you an example of how systemisation incorporating AI can be a game changer for managing your skills in the organisation. Okay, let's move on. So, benefits of developing a future-proof workforce. So let's discuss the real benefits of doing all of this. Developing this future-proof workforce offers really tangible material benefits to your organisation. For instance, organisations that implement competency mapping have reported 30% plus increase in employee productivity. Additionally, a major financial institution has experienced a 25% reduction in turnover within a year of adopting a competency framework. Actually, some of our own customers have seen far greater results than this. One of our customers in particular is a construction business, Group PMX, has seen a 50% reduction in employee churn. Why is this? Well, once you've got this framework in place, they've been able to give their entire workforce career development plans linked to the framework. So everybody can see where they are, what they need to do to get ahead. Us humans like to move forwards, whether it's getting deeper into the current role or progressing to future roles within your career. By strategically planning your workforce development, you can precisely identify skills gaps and implement targeted training programs or develop objectives, and this positions your organization for sustained success. It's no longer anecdotal, we're driving this from a data perspective. Okay, implementing effective upskilling strategies. Now, recently I was talking to the head of HR in one of the government organisations. It's actually last week. I'm not going to say which one it is, but let's just say we all get letters from them. So this gentleman was actually talking to me about skills and hiring. He was bemoaning the fact that their TA, their talent acquisition team, is using a completely different system of rating capability when they're hiring than the L&D team that is using it for progressing people in-house and providing development. And this has led to mishiring, lack of consistency, bias, and poor succession planning. And so now you've got to imagine if you did have this single framework in place for assessing capabilities and performance from hire all the way through the life cycle of employment, how that would look for all employees, creating this consistent approach. Effective upskilling becomes far easier and consists of more than just training sessions. So we need to sort of consider the following strategies. Personalized learning paths are available, so you can then tailor training programs to individual needs based on hard data, based on skills gaps analysis, which can lead to 25% or more improvement in performance. Leveraging technology, incorporate AI-driven learning platforms to enhance this training will improve efficiency by 32% or more. Understand exactly what needs to be learned and what needs to be executed by the employee day to day to provide the fact that the training has been successful, and understand what the competency level is. Having continuous feedback mechanisms enables establishment of regular feedback loops to increase employee engagement by 27%. And then you tag on quick skills assessments onto the end of these one-to-one check-ins that we have every week or month, and you get a near real-time view of skills acquisitions and capabilities in your organisation. And by adopting these approaches, you can ensure that your upskilling efforts are both efficient and impactful. Next slide. Measuring success and adapting strategies. So systemising creates many advantages, of course, including this ability to perform in-depth reporting and deep analytics on skills gaps, single person dependencies, succession planning, ideal fit candidates, and much, much more. Accurate measuring of success of your upskilling initiatives is also crucial for continuous development and ensuring you've got the right learning providers. So the key metrics here to consider include the key performance indicators, the KPIs. Organisations that set clear KPIs for training programs generally see a 20% higher success rate. Employee retention rates, companies that focus on skills development experience 14% or far more increase in retention. And return on investment, effective upskilling initiatives and development plans can yield huge ROIs of up to 350+%. Regularly evaluating these metrics allows you to refine strategies and ensure they remain aligned with your business objectives. Okay, I think we've now come to the question and answer section. I think we've covered a little bit of ground today. We might be a little bit short on time, but I think we can handle a couple of questions. Let's see what we've got. Okay, someone here has asked if the slide deck will be made available. Well, normally I don't do that, but again, my email is at the end of these, at the end of the deck. So if you do want the slide deck, just drop me an email. I'm happy to send you a copy over. Okay. Okay, Leslie asks, can I use an existing framework? Great question, Leslie. The answer is yes. You can upload your existing framework and then use the AI to enrich it or improve it, or you can simply leave it as is and then hook that framework into your processes. Okay, another one. Can you integrate this into Workday? Yeah, the answer is yes, but of course, with all these sort of technical things, the devil's in the detail. Please reach out to me for a discussion after, so I know exactly what data you want to transfer and integrate. And final one from Jack. Okay, we're a small consultancy with 2 L&D. How much time does it take up to roll this out? Well, the answer is, one of the reasons we built this is to remove a huge amount of overhead burdening HR and L&D, and also so that organisations who are smaller can use this technology effectively. Now, I don't know how big your org is, but we have customers as small as 20 employees and as large as 7,000 employees using this technology effectively. So it is possible to utilise this framework with a system and create huge results. Okay. Next slide is my only kind of pitch slide, as it were. I mean, it's not really a pitch slide. I'm going to say here, look, if you believe you have a requirement to systemize your framework, I'm pretty sure you're going to know. And if you do have that requirement, there's a QR code here, snapshot it to demo directly with me. Or if I'm too techy and you want to speak to one of our sales, and please go onto our website and you'll be connected there. I won't be offended. Either way, you've got both of those options. Okay, so final slide is the download packs. 2 of our most popular packs here, updated for 2025. To download them, just scan the QR code or go to the URL below. And as promised below, here's my direct email. And please do drop me a line if you've got any questions at all, or if you want the slide deck. And it's been a pleasure talking to you all today, and I hope you all derive some value from it. So thank you, and thanks once again for watching.